Hey there friends, how are you going to survive a couple weeks working from home and your kids are out of school because of the coronavirus and all of the chaos that is happening, yet you still need to function and function highly? I have 10 tips to help you not only just survive and get through the next couple weeks, but to really thrive and make the best of it. Now, if this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Jenny Stemmerman and I'm the founder of Your Life Rocks. Your Life Rocks is a resource-based company all about supporting working Christian moms and helping them create balance. Now, in addition to running Your Life Rocks, I also am a fellow full-time working mom, and I happen to work from home about 3 days a week, and then I work in the office 2 days a week. Now, I have been working in my house for work for a number of years in a number of different capacities, and so I feel like I'm a little bit, I don't want to say an expert on this subject, but I feel like I know a few things about managing working from home. And every single week, at least one day, my kids are home with me. So these tips are tried and true and the things that truly help me be successful, and I hope that they do the same for you as well. Now, in these 10 tips, we have 3 of them that are for you excelling in work, 3 of them that are helping you take care of yourself as a working mom, and 3 for your family. Now, if you are good at math, you know that's only 9, and I said these are the top 10 tips. So the last tip, tip number 10, is going to be the best tip that kind of overshadows everything that we're going to be talking about and everything that you can do over the course of the next couple weeks. So let's get into the first 3, which are all about helping you shine while you work. All right, number 1 to help you shine while you are working is to have clear expectations with your boss, supervisor, or manager. Meaning, how often are you expected to be online? Do they need to see you live in the chat if your company uses Slack or any other communication program? How often do you need to be in there? What are the key projects that you should be working on when you're home? And what does the check-in schedule look like? Now, if you're lucky, you might be able to have a little bit of flexibility with your work schedule. And if that's the case, then I highly recommend that you start to work earlier, shifting your schedule around a little bit, because if you can get some work done before the kids even wake up, bonus. But you won't know kind of how you can set that up unless you have a clear expectation with your boss. So find out what success looks like for work while you're working from home and make a plan to not just meet that level of expectation, but to exceed it. All right, number 2 is to be visible. Now, when we talk on the podcast about career or even inside of Life Balance membership or in our community, we talk about all kinds of things when it has to do with career, but we are all generally goal-focused, goal-driven women. And if that's the case for you as well, then I want you to think about how you can use this opportunity to really shine and maybe put your best foot forward and maybe even line yourself up for the next promotion or whatever that can look like. And the best way of doing that is to be visible. Now, if you can think about being in chat, in email, on conference calls early, whatever that looks like for you, but make yourself available to your other coworkers, letting them know proactively about the different projects that you're working on, when you've been able to complete things, and especially for your boss. Never leave them wondering, is she really working at home or is she just doing the laundry and taking care of the kids? But the more you can be proactive, maybe even sending an email in the morning saying, hey, this is my plan of attack for today and what I'm hoping to accomplish. And then at the end of the day, send another email saying, these are all of the things that I got done, and I went above and beyond and got these other things done as well. Just really be strategic about how you can use this time to set yourself up for success in your career. All right, last tip of the top 10 tips to help you with your career. So we talked about clear expectations. We talked about being visible. Now I want to talk to you about setting some realistic expectations. Trust me, working from home, it's really easy to think I'm gonna get all of this stuff done, and I'm gonna get all of this stuff done while the laundry's going and there's food going in the crock pot and all of these great things. You really have to manage your own expectations, and this is why I use a program called Sunsama. Now, Sunsama is easy to forget what it is. So if you go to yourliferocks.com/plan your day, then you can find what I'm talking about here. And this is amazing because it allows me to pull in all of my projects. It allows me to pull in everything from my Google Calendar and really assign how long every single task is going to take me to do. Kind of match that up with my calendar to make sure I'm not planning 20 hours of work to do when I really only have 3 hours outside of meetings in order to do those things. We have to have realistic expectations for ourselves. This goes from when we're working at home or when we're working in the office, but especially if you're not used to working from home, you might be thinking you're gonna be able to get all of these things done. Pare it down a little bit, and then if you are able to exceed your expectations, awesome. But don't try to stress yourself out by thinking that you can do more than there are actual hours in the day. And if you want to see a video of how I use Sunsama to plan my day and to plan my week worth of work to keep everything in balance and to keep me productive and moving things forward, let me know in the comments down below and I will be sure to film that if that's something that you want to see. All right, now moving on from work, and let's talk about you working from home and how you're going to be taking care of yourself. Now, number one is I want you to really think about your routines. What are your morning routines look like? What are your after work routines look like, or even your starting work routines and your nighttime routines? Now, when you're working from home and you're used to working in an office, these routines are going to be very different, especially if your kids are home from school, because part of your morning routine is probably taking them to school or getting ready for school. And that's probably not the case. Your commute's not there, your commute home is not there, that debrief time is gonna be a lot different as well. So really take some time to think about those different routines that you have for yourself and how you're going to adjust them for working from home, making sure that you're still giving yourself time to get into the Word, to be active, and do all of the other things that you have built into your routines to help take care of you. Now, the other tip I want to share with you is really quite simple, and it's called a Pomodoro timer. Now I'm gonna pull up my phone so you can see it. This is one of my top productivity tips, but especially as you are working from home. Now, the particular app that I have, I use an Android phone, and it is called Brain Focus. Now you can see right here, it is on a 5-minute break. So essentially what it does, and I'm gonna go through this so you can kind of see, then it will do a 25-minute work cycle. So on the 25-minute work cycle, you stay focused working for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. Why this is key is because when you're working from home, it can get really easy to get sucked into your office, and especially if your kids are home, they might just be spending a lot of time watching TV or on electronic devices. So use that 5-minute break to go and spend time with your kids, to stretch, to get water, to go to the bathroom, and generally take care of yourself. So you're not just sitting in your office in your chair for 8 hours a day. You're getting up and you're moving around, maybe going outside and getting some fresh air. I love to use my 5 minutes when my kids are home and I'm working to go out and spend with them. And they know, all right, mom's on her 5-minute break, and they can hear the timer when it goes. And so they know when it goes, I gotta go back to work. So let's make the most of this 5 minutes while we can. And tip number 3 for you as you are working from home over the next couple weeks is to really think about that extra time that you have for yourself and how you can use it wisely. This could be a great time to spend more time studying the Word of God, getting in the Bible, being more physically active and working out and taking care of your body, or even learning new things and taking care of your mind. If you've been wanting to join Life Balance membership, now is a great time because you'll have some extra times to take the courses, to learn the systems, start to apply them to your life so that when things go back to normal, you have a new structure, a new system in which you can use to apply to your life to help you reach goals in all 8 areas that we talk about here at Your Life Rocks. No matter what you do with that time, use it wisely because these few weeks will be going by fast, and before you know it, everyone will be back in school, you'll be back in work, and we'll be back to our hurried rush of daily life. All right, now we have covered the 3 tips for your work, the 3 tips for you, and now let's talk about the 3 tips for your kiddos. Number 1 is to create a schedule and let them know. Now, I did a Facebook Live in our community and recorded a podcast for our Life Balance members talking about weekly prep and how we can do weekly prep a little bit different with our kids home with everything that's going on in the world right now. But one of those things is to set a routine, a schedule for your kids on what their day-to-day should be looking like, making sure that they are doing proper hygiene, making sure that they are spending time learning, that they're spending time playing. It's important that we really think about all those different aspects that our kids need and then build a schedule for that. Now, I've already seen a ton of cookie cutter schedules going around social media, and if you want to use one of those, go for it. But I highly encourage you to look at those, use them for inspiration, but then just jot down on a piece of paper what kind of a routine works for you specifically and for your kids specifically in your family and the overall dynamic. Oftentimes what happens when we try to stick to something that's cookie cutter or recommended, something that we find on Pinterest or out on social media that's floating around, is that we can start to hold ourselves to a standard that's not really helping us in any particular way. And so it's best if we can personalize that. Again, use it for inspiration, but personalize it for our own schedule and our own kids and their needs. Because let's face it, some of us have office work that we don't need to necessarily be on any calls or video chats or anything like that. And there's gonna be others of us out there that are going to be on video chats all day long. And the kids are gonna be yelling and doing things in the background. So you need to make sure you're setting up a routine for them that works for your unique situation. But make sure that there is some kind of a structured routine for them and that they know what that is. Number 2 is to make your lunch breaks meaningful. Now, I don't know about you, but usually when I am working in an office, I don't remember to take a lunch break. And even oftentimes when I'm working from home, I don't remember to take a lunch break either. I just work straight on through. But I highly encourage you to carve out that hour from your work schedule to spend with your kids. Think about having a picnic in the backyard if it's warm enough where you are. I've seen a lot of snow in a lot of places, so that might not be possible for you. But you can solve a picnic in your living room or in the bedroom or the TV room or wherever you want to. But really think about how you can make that lunch hour as a special play date with your kids. And number 3, and this kind of ties back to number 1 when you're making their schedule, but really think about your kids this week and all of their needs. Now, it's easy to think about what they need to do for schooling or for education or things like that. But let's face it, they're just gonna be out of school for a couple weeks, so it's not like they're gonna forget everything and fall really, really behind. While I do think it's important to keep some kind of an educational thing in there, I think it's important that we also think about the fact that they are socially isolated from their friends, that they have emotional needs, and depending on how we've been reacting to everything that's going on or how much news we've let them be exposed to, there could be some emotional fear or anxiety or stress that's going on around all of this that's happening. And so it's important that we really think about all of those different aspects for our kids and that we build things in to help them express their emotions, to get out that social energy that they might have and the physical energy as well. All of those things are really, really important. And so we need to make sure that we're taking that into account. And that might mean that when you're done with work, it's taking them on a walk around the neighborhood or going for a jog with them in the morning before you go into work in your office or wherever it is that you're in your house. But really think about how you can help them get that physical energy out, how you can bring more social with them, maybe doing some video chats with family members or friends, or different things that you can do to make sure they are fully supported in every area of life. Okay, so we covered the top 3 tips for work, we covered the top 3 tips for you, top 3 tips for your kids. That is 9, and I said these are the top 10 tips to work from home when your kids are there with you. And so let's dive into the top 10 tip. Really, it's probably the number 1 tip. And if you know anything about Your Life Rocks, you can probably guess what this is, which is to think about how you can be deeper in your faith this week. Now, there's so many reasons why this is important, but let's just remember that as Christians, we are an example and we can be a light on the hill for so many people, including our children who are watching us, our coworkers. And so it's really important that instead of giving into fear, that we really lean on God and His Word and His promises and His truth in times like these. So be careful what you're sharing on social media. Be careful of the things that we might be saying or being stressed about or commenting on, because this is an opportunity for us to be really showing our faith, and not just in a way of showing our faith, but really living our faith inside of ourselves and growing deeper in our relationship with God. And a big part of that is loving others. So think about ways that your family can serve others in the community, obviously in a safe way, because there are a lot of needs every single day, but especially during this crisis that we're experiencing. So how can your family be that loving arm of Christ to others in the community? Now, if you're looking to clear the chaos, we are going to be doing the Clear Your Chaos course that's inside of Life Balance membership, all together live, starting on Monday, March 16th. It's a 7-day audio course inside the membership, but we're going to be kind of taking it live and applying it to what we are currently experiencing right now in our current culture. Then after that, we'll move into goal setting together as a group for the second 90 days. And then that way you can be ready to take the Life Balance course to learn the Life Balance system and apply that for the second quarter. Think about it this way. The second quarter of the year is April, May, and June. So where do you want to be the first part of July in your faith, your marriage, your parenting, your health, home, career, finances, and friends and fun? Together, we're going to help you set those goals, put together the Life Balance system to support you in achieving that, and I would love for you to join us. You can learn more by going to lifebalancemembership.com or click the link down below. I hope that these tips are helpful for you as you're working from home with your kids over the course of the next couple weeks. And if you have other tips to share, I would love to hear about them in the comments of this video. And until next week, keep building a life that rocks. Bye.